Hello, world. It is Monday, January 24th, 2022, and looking out the window at Defiance, it's kind of overcast and very cold, close to 10 degrees this morning. And I think we're supposed to maybe get another 1 to 3 inches of snow before noon, so be careful if you're out on the roads. It could be slick. And please dress appropriately for the weather. The devotion for today is entitled Rules and Regulations, and it's written by Kenneth Samuel. Kenneth bases the devotion upon Psalm 119, verse 93, New Living Translation. I will never forget your commandments, for by them you give me life. And Kenneth writes, many communities across our country are experiencing grassroots rebellions against mandates put in place to mitigate the spread of COVID. No one really wants their lives encumbered by unnecessary red tape and extraneous regulations, so with an eye toward protecting individual liberty, some of us cast a suspect eye toward expanded regulations. Recognizing the futility and oppressiveness of pretentious religious rules, Jesus invites his followers to take up his yoke and learn of his way. In doing so, Jesus promises that we will find his yoke to be easy and his burden to be light. Instead of the multitudinous mandates of the law, Jesus issues one essential commandment, the commandment to love God and to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. According to Jesus, obedience to that one supreme commandment alleviates the tedious compliance of all the others. Less laws and more love. This is still a pressing need of our day. To be sure, no commandment is more challenging than the commandment to love. And to be sure, no commandment is more liberating than the commandment to love. St. Augustine said we should love God and do what we want. What an awesome liberty. What an awesome law. A few years ago, I found myself struggling to meet a rather daunting mandate of a grant proposal for a pastoral sabbatical. The main stipulation of the proposal was that I use the grant to pursue that which makes my heart sing. Decades of trying to meet the requirements of others initially left me at a loss in determining my own heart's desires. But when I was finally able to articulate what I really wanted, I discovered that what I really wanted was precisely what the grant funders required. And Samuel's prayer, or Kenneth Samuel's prayer. Lord, help us to find our liberty in your law. Amen. Well, a few thoughts that come to mind in this devotion is this is certainly something that I've tended to highlight as the greatest commandment, is to love God with your entire being and love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang upon those two. And if you're not interpreting all the other laws in light of those two, you're not interpreting them correctly. The other thing this brought to mind was that during this pandemic, the rules that some are suggesting, like mask mandates and vaccine mandates, or encouraging vaccines, are yes, meant to help protect the individual, but even more so to protect others from the individual, especially the mask mandate. Because unless you're wearing an N95 mask, wearing a mask really limits your expulsion of moisture particles which could contain the virus. It reduces that substantially. So it's really about lessening the chance that you're spreading the virus, should you have it, and about protecting your neighbor. It's about loving your neighbor as you love yourself. Of course, an N95 mask works both ways because its filtration size is so small that it would prevent 95% of virus particles from either exiting as you exhale or coming in as you inhale. So, but just during this time, think about how you can protect others. Yes, you need to be aware of protecting yourself, washing your hands, and avoiding certain situations for sure. But Look upon what you can do to protect others. That's really what it's about. Love God with your entire being and love your neighbor as yourself. Follow that, and you should be good. Hope you have a good day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.